Let me put my clothes on, yeah. Let me put my clothes on. Maybe later on, put yours on too. Yeah. And I gotta put my clothes on. You know what I mean? Put my clothes on. Y'all ready? I'm ready. Tuesday. Yeah. Yo. Pretty Pezzy Tuesday. Yeah. Word. Word. Permanent damage, baby. Yeah. Show love. What up, y'all? Yo, Urban Therapy with Sun 752 with this your daily. It's the daily go get up show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. We talking about permanent damage tonight. Have you ever been permanently scarred? Feel like an outcast, feel like you got barred and you got banned. Can't come in, man. Yo, show your ID, show your exit out for free. Yo, everything is be okay, but you can't come up in here today. Permanent damage accidents. How many have you been in? Have you been hurt in a car crash so bad to left your brain sprinting? Gotta, on my third surgery, baby. Permanent damage. Not even on the negative side, but yo, it ain't easy to deal with something that you know ain't going away ever. Yo, permanent damage won't be the same no more. Doesn't mean that you can't do nothing, but permanent damage is what it is. Irreversible damage. No, it will never look the way it used to look again. Yeah, we just gonna have to get used to it the way it is now. Permanent damage. Baldness, baby. Yeah, I know a lot of men are cheating on baldness, but I can't get into all of that. You know how we do. Yo, Please do me a favor, hit the like button. This is interesting. We had 4 likes and it went down to 2. What in the? Hey, you gotta roll with the punches. Everything is all good. Permanent damage. Can you deal with it? Yo. Word. Yo. Jihad. What up, my brother? How you feeling? T Carry, right, yo. All right, let's go. Get this hardware out of the way. Get the hardware out of the way. We're going to talk about dealing with permanent damage today. And are y'all ready? Because I am. It's been a hell of a day today. But I ain't mad at it. It's one of those days of reflection. It's time to look back on some shit. What's going on, y'all? What's good? How my people's feeling? Man? Yo, it's the Daily Go Get Business Show, Pretty Petty Tuesday, all up in your area. Tonight on the Daily Go Get Business Show, we are talking about dealing with permanent damage. What do you know? What do you know about a life-altering experience where something is different than the way that it's ever going to be? It's different than it was before, and it ain't never going to be the way it was before. You know, when you talk about dealing with permanent damage, you're not always talking about something physical. You can absolutely be talking about a mental thing. Now, if any of y'all have lost friends, loved ones, or whatever to mental illness, and that can be lost through a mistake, an accident, and it can be done on purpose by mistake. If you know what I mean. Wink, wink, wink. Have you ever known somebody who lost their mind or lost their faculties from somebody playing a prank on them? Let's cut to the chase. They got them high. That's what happened. You know, slipped them a Mickey. Threw some dust in the blunt. Threw some angel dust in the blunt. And they never came back. They never came off of that high. Well, I knew a few people that happened to. It ain't cool. Then that's permanent damage. I'm talking about 50 years ago well, I'm 55. I remember my man Al from around the way. He was a young boy, you know, running around getting high, you know, doing what young boys do. Somebody slipped in. I think it was some Monster. Now, Monster was crank. And crank was sort of like meth, crystal meth, sort of. Let me look at that shit. Let me get this together because I looked it up before. What's the difference between crank and crystal meth? Oh. Yeah, crank is crystal meth. Wait a minute. Wait. Maybe there is a difference. Wait a minute. Meth versus... Oh, no. That was meth versus crystal meth. No. Okay. What is crank? Discover the street name of meth. All right, what is crank? Crank is a commonly used street name for methamphetamine, a potent and highly addictive central nervous system stimulant, known for its ability to produce intense euphoria and an increased... Well, that's speed. Increased energy. Meth use often leads to severe health risks and destructive behavioral patterns. The illicit drug, also refers to as crystal meth or simply meth, comes in various forms and can be ingested, snorted, smoked, or ingested. Its widespread abuse has contributed to significant public health challenges and a surge in related criminal activities. Okay, so back in the day, crank was meth or when did they start crystal meth? Boom, 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 boom. And there used to be this stuff called Monster. What is the drug called Monster? No, monster drugs sometimes referred to fentanyl. No. This was way before. Okay, monster may also be used metaphorically. The term monster. I'm talking about back in the 70s. Because my godparents, used to mess around with the stuff. And he'd be like, oh, you know what monster is? Of course I didn't. But I see it right there on the table. And told myself, don't never mess around with this. Well, thanks for introducing it to me so I wouldn't mess around with it. Thanks. Yeah, it says all of the above with the questionnaire. He says, how you doing? Oh, what's good? What's good? Good to see you. Or somebody mess with your significant other. Permanent damage. They got a drug they call dog food or wet. Dog food? I never heard of that one. That's just, it wouldn't surprise me though. When it comes to illicit drugs, illicit substances or whatever. We could probably go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. But yeah, so we're talking about permanent damage. Listen, man, probably all of us have a permanent scar, like, from when we was little, running, jumping, hang jumping from second and third story windows just to see if we could do it, doing tricks on bikes, skateboards, whatever, playing sports, ripping, running, challenging each other, just getting into shit. It happens, and it definitely leads to accidents or whatever. You can get in accidents at home, burns, scrapes and stuff like that. Some of the things that happened to us stuck with us, and we are able to deal better with the permanent scars that we may have gotten when we was in single digits, when we were little. Because remember, Generation X, man, we was rough. Remember, we even wore rough clothes. Remember Tough Skins? Remember the pants called Tough Skins? Sears, baby. You got them from the Sears Roebuck Company. And remember, they already had the patch in the knees. Because for some reason, we was always wearing out the knee portion of our pants. It wasn't nothing to see little kids with holes in their knees. What was we doing? Was we breakdancing? Spin on your back and spin on your knees. Let yourself go and last freeze. Remember the song Breakdance by West Street Mob? Anyway, yeah, we was tough. But, so a lot of people from our generation got scraped up knees. You said two-tone jeans. I'm talking about before then, though, dog. I'm talking about before the Lees and the Chardons, before the two-tones, before Stone Age. Stone Wash, Acid Wash, and all. Before all of that. I'm talking about when we were 6, 7, 8 years old. I'm talking about, let me see, Tough Skins. Hold on. Tough Skins pants. No. Yeah, Tough Skins pants. Let me see if they have a picture of them. Tough Skins are a clothing line sold by Sears Roebuck Company. Damn, do they have a... Let me see if I can get a good picture of them. Go to images. All right, here go a pair. Wait. So that's like a, hold on. There's like a, that was sort of like a cargo pants. Hold on. Let me find a better picture. Tough Skins. So yeah, for some reason they not showing them in the front, but they so old. But they had the Tough Skin label on that joint. You know what I mean? That was your Jordache, your Sergio Valente, before there was Jordache and Sergio Valente. These kept your kids in good clothes for as long as possible. Tough Skins, but yeah. So, you know what I mean? A lot of Generation X's got some messed up knees. What up, hello world? What's good? What's good, my dude? He said, remember when Ruse had pockets on the, you talking about the sneakers? Ruse. And you know, they were originally called kangaroos. That's why they had the pouch, you know, kangaroo pouch. Yeah, I definitely remember Ruse. I remember Pro Players, Pro Kids, Chucks, which they, you know, will never, ever die. See, like, much as I would like to kill them, they will never, ever die. So, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, we had, yeah, man, we played rough. But there was a lot of permanent damage. You know, look at this here. You see these? Right here. Is this your mister? When I was about, this was definitely before I was 40. It was definitely after I was 30. This was about 2006. Yeah, this is about 2006. It was 2006. I went to a cookout. I went to my man's cookout, may he rest in peace now. And we was roughhousing, playing football or some shit like that. And I fell. This shit was leaking like a mug. This shit was bleeding out. And we was drinking and all of that shit. You know, when you drink, shit, you bleed more because the alcohol makes your blood thinner. So I was bleeding. I wasn't even worried about it. I like patched it up or whatever. And I went to this chick crib. And she was like, yo, what's up with your arm? I was like, oh, no, we was playing football and I fell. And, you know what I mean? I scraped myself a little bit. But you see it's still there. That's not going away. That is never going away. I was leaking like crazy. Blood all down my arm, all down my arm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't worried about it. I was going. I left the cookout to go to the crib like, what's up? Arm all leaked. Yo, man. I ain't gonna lie. I don't miss my drinking days. I was off the chain. You know, when I think about it, I'm like, I did so much dumb shit. That shit don't make no kind of sense. None. Zero. A big fat zero. But it was what it was. But yeah, so yeah, that's not going away. I can't cocoa butter it. Well, I probably could have, but you know, for some reason, I just won't do that kind of shit. I don't know. call it hypermasculinity or whatever, but I ain't. Right now, I'm experiencing a little muscle spasm because I did 5 sets of pull-ups earlier today, and I took some mustard because if you don't know, mustard will kill a Charlie horse. But this joint coming back. It's like, yo, yeah, you know what I mean? We want to holler at you. It's like, yo, want to holler. We talk to you, dog. Talk to you about this little. Hello World says, yeah, we used to flip off mattresses and concrete, wrestle for cardboard belts. Man, don't let a neighbor or something, get a new washer or dryer or refrigerator. That big ass box. Oh my God, it was on. Or diving in the fall, in the autumn, seeing a pile of leaves and diving into them shits. Like there's no way there's anything in that pile of leaves that could hurt you. Just dove in, didn't test it first. Didn't make sure, let me make sure, for all we know, it could be a pole in there. Somebody could have been playing a trick on this. It could have been a pole in there, and it could have been a rake. Just bang, bang. If you ever stepped on a rake and they're trying to pop your little vein in your foot. Anyway, yeah. Oh shit, G.I. said we used to play tops. Man, craxies. Breaking each other's tops. Tops was a great game though. And it took so much skill. What kids do on video games today, we was doing in real life. We was ready for the world. Oh shit. G.I. said, try that now. You might you be diving on syringes. Exactly. Spoonsies. Is that what you're trying to say? Hello world, spoonsies. Yeah. But when you talking about permanent damage, yeah. You know what? Since we here, we intimate, we small right now. Yo, list any permanent scars that you have right now. You don't have to say what happened or whatever unless you want to. But list what permanent damage you have. I have I showed y'all my elbow, on my leg, on my thigh, right on the side of my right thigh. It's like a gash because I got ran over by a car. I got run over by a car. And this gash used to, when I was little, because I was like 4 years old when it happened, it used to take up my whole leg. I'm surprised I don't have a limp or anything. I didn't even break a leg. They said that when you're that young, your bones aren't fully developed yet, so they kind of spongy. So you could drop something really heavy on your legs and still it not break yet. So I guess I hadn't reached broken leg age. But I got ran over by a car. Do you know what my mom would have had to have gone through as far as social services are concerned? If I got ran over by a car today, there would have been so much explaining to do. On my mom's block to this very day, because we still live in this, well, she still lives in the same house that I grew up in. They have a watch children sign on the on that end of the block. That's still there. Watch children. That was the response. Watch children. So when you see watch children, They was talking about me. I spearheaded that. I pioneered that. I feel free now that I cleared this. How could I fell off? Man, I helped pioneer this. What up, wisdom? What's good? He said, if the mind is suffering, the whole person suffers, no matter how perfect the body is. Nothing but facts there. Nothing but facts. Queen Monica Davis is in the house. What's going on? My good to see me some you always and forever. Says jumping on the back of work trucks for a ride. And trolleys and buses. Holding on. Was a ride really that deep? Because if you got enough energy to hold on to a back of a trolley or a bus, you got enough energy to walk your ass home. But it was just a rush. It was the feeling of euphoria of getting a free ride. It was like you were getting over on the system. You were sticking it to the man. We were sticking it to the man, son. Art of Mind 559. What's good, my dog? What's good? We talking about permanent damage tonight. Permanent damage. What you know about being permanently damaged? Art of Mind says it was called Scully in the 70s. What's shaking, son? In chat. What was called Scully? What was called Scully? G.I. says, I have a 3rd-degree burn mark on my hand. When I was a baby, I climbed on the bed iron, and the bed iron fell on my hand. When I was a baby, I climbed on the bed and the iron fell. That happened to my nephew. He was messing around at the iron board, pulled the cord on the iron, and that shit came down and hit his face. You can see the iron and the steam marks right there on his face. Yeah, my sister had the answer for that. Like, oh, so he just burned himself, did he? Huh? He healed up so good, man. You'll never know that ever happened to him. He totally healed. That motherfucker got Wolverine in him. He got Wolverine, baby. He ain't got no scars from that. I got permanent damage galore. Not in the form of a bunch of marks, but yeah, I've been fucked up. Fucked up. Who knows what I could have done if I wasn't so damaged? Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, man, we used to I stayed messing myself up. But you know, not everybody can handle permanent damage the same way. For some people, the permanent part of the damaged part can sometimes make it unbearable for them to deal with. Not everybody is able to deal with not just marks, scars, burns, cuts, scrapes, and physical marks. But for some people, because that makes you look physically different, I'm just call a spade a spade. Some people are so vain about their looks that losing the way that they look is like a fate worse than death. Now you have to consider that the older you get, you're gonna lose your looks. In other words, you're not gonna look the way that you looked before. But the thing is, you may not look bad. You may not lose your looks as far as being handsome or being pretty. Man, my shoulder blade ain't playing. It's like, yeah, you can try to ignore me all you want. You can ignore me all you want, but I'm gonna win. So let me get this mustard popping. Yeah. Let me get this mustard. In about 5 minutes. In about 5 minutes, everything should be okay. Everything. Permanent damage can be validating your body as well. It could be. If you're in a gang, you mean? You mean like if you're in a gang? If you're like in a gang. I'm Run DMC like Cool's from Cool in the Gang. Rock to the roll to the rock. Roll to the rock to the roll. DMC stands for devastating mic control. You can't touch me with a 10-foot pole, and I even let the devil sell me his soul. Well, hold on. It's early I didn't get a warning of a call, so let's see how this is going to go.
You have a call from.
Hello? I was in that game. You was talking smack about my mama.
The Oklahoma City one.
Your friend gave me your phone number. You thought you could talk about my safe for my mamas and get away with it? Yo, don't you play dumb. You weren't getting off that easy. I got proof my mama ain't fat. You probably look like a bag of gravy. Man, you sound scared. Yo, 1v1 me right now. 1v1 me right now. Come on, I'm already on the game. What, you scared? I don't got time for this. Either 1v1 me or take back what you said about my mamas.
I could be permanently damaged from just the fuck shit. Like, what's to stop me from being permanently damaged by the fuck shit? What I mean, what I got? What I got? All right, y'all talking now. That's what's up. Okay, let me see. Artemon says Scully was a game played on the asphalt with soda tops, kind of like pool. Oh, okay. All right. G.I. says, oh, we call Scully tops. We had used pennies and wax on our tops. Oh, okay. Hello World says Scully with the tops like milk bottles or orange juice tops filled with asphalt. Damn. I'm trying to figure out how I missed that. My man Buana Haguski, what's good, my dude? What's good? How you feeling? He said, there's grown men that don't have a lady. These grown men don't have a lady to lay next to, so they so early in the morning. Yes, you need moderators for the telephone, yo. You ain't never the fucking lie, man. I need a call screening service like, yo, vet these dumbass motherfuckers, say. Vet these. Yeah, Monica is from Philly. She said we call that caps. And that is what we called it. We called it caps. Okay, so they called it Scully where y'all at. All right. Must be a Jersey thing. It must be that's the way it was in Jersey. We definitely we definitely played tops. I miss tops too. That was my shit. That was my shit. All right. So, there are so many different ways to suffer or inflict permanent damage on somebody. And some of those ways can come from an accident. Shout out to anybody and everybody that's ever been in a really, really bad car accident. And, a bad car accident can stop you from walking the same ever again. It can stop you from driving. It can stop you from wanting to be in a car. That's the crazy part. And, when you start getting into the mental or psychological element of what permanent damage is, you really start to get on some shit. Because losing your confidence about something or not being able to shake off your fear about something is a permanent damage that can really, really get on your nerves, and it can also trickle down to your children or whatever. I don't know about y'all, but I've always felt like whatever parents are afraid of, they make their children afraid of. And sometimes that's a good thing, and a lot of times it's a bad thing. Think about how many parents have been afraid to get on an airplane, so their kids are never going to get on an airplane either, or refuse to because their parents put it in their head that the plane is going to go down if they got on a plane. So, if you never get on a plane, I hope that you down with long rides, because more than likely you're never going to get to the West Coast if you live on the East Coast. Or you're never going to get to the East Coast if you're from the West Coast, if you're afraid to fly. Because that drive from the East Coast to West Coast is a long one. It can take a week. For some people, it take them a week and a half if they slow down and enjoy some of the sights. Yeah. But yeah. So think about how many people are permanently scarred from a broken heart. You know what I mean? Some of y'all may have had your heart broken 2, 3, 4 times. You like, it's just part of life. It's part of the game. Some people can't handle it. Some people, have fallen into a deep depression. And you like, well, damn, is it that deep? Well, yeah, not to you, but to them it is. But who knows? Because they may have some permanent mental damage done that makes them take things more seriously than you do. And I ain't talking about like a coconut dropping out of a tree and hitting you on the head like on some Gilligan's Island shit. There can be certain things that can look at what happened with Junior Seau. Look at what happened with Junior Seau, the football player. Used to play for the San Diego Chargers. Look what happened to him. He was fucked up. Those concussions, man. Those concussions can send your mental state to a downward spiral that you can't recover from. Does it happen all the time? No. Do plenty of football players escape it? Yes. But what about the ones that it doesn't? Permanently scarred. Crazy headaches all the time, leading to depression that they can't seem to, dig themselves out of. Often going undiagnosed. I knew I was going to spill some. I knew, because I was acting like I had a hole in my lip tonight. I'm trying to work with it. Make sure y'all hit the like button, y'all. Please hit the like button. Yes, Simon says CTE. Yes. 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 Permanent damage. Permanent damage due to too many hits on the head. Boxers. Yo, you see the way that Sugar Ray Leonard talks now. You see the way that Riddick Bowe. You see the way Riddick Bowe talks now. You'd be like, man, you one step short of Muhammad Ali. But a lot of those boxers didn't look right near the end of their lives. Joe Frazier, he wasn't as bad as Ali, but he wasn't good. I remember I met the champ once. He was a nice guy. Bill Desmond was good. Artemon says, I'm terrified of boats and planes. I've been on them though. I mean, it's a healthy fear. I've been on plane rides that was so bad, I just knew it was over. Multiple times. I mean, literally hitting the floor like, yo, they talking about something, keep your seatbelt on. Fuck out of here. And what's that going to do? What's that going to do? So I should die on my seat? No, I'm talking about brace for impact. And no, the plane wasn't going down, but that shit ain't feel good. And if you've ever gone deep sea fishing on a day where the waves are tossing that, man, you really see the power of the sea when you go all the way out of the bay, out into the real ocean. And when it seemed like the ocean is mad, that shit crazy. Oh shit, Bill Desmond says your favorite player, Aaron Hernandez. Slow down, dog. Slow down. Yeah, you can call it turbulence. I call that shit. I think it's about to be a wrap. All right, y'all. We're gonna try this one again. We're gonna try this again. Let's see how it go. Oh no, they hung up. Rats. They hung up. Okay. Buana says Joe Frazier was a bad man, but his fights were brutal. No wonder he can't talk. Well, he been dead for a good minute. But how many I almost feel like I didn't see any fights that he won besides Ali.
You have a call from
caller with the last number 7224. Welcome to the Daily Go Get 'Em Ism Show.
What's going on, brother?
Yo, man, feel like a real man should. What's up with you?
This Jihad calling in to talk to my brother.
Good looking. Appreciate you.
I was calling about the topic today, man. It's like, I tell you, man, I would never take life for granted no more. And I'm scarred for life because I was on dialysis. I never thought I would be on dialysis,
Yeah.
And I got a transplant now, but, those things don't last forever.
Mm-hmm.
So, that really messed me up when it happened to me. I was making all the money, had the nice cars, just doing my thing, man. Never knew that would happen to me, So I don't take life for granted no more because you can wake up in the morning and be a vegetable, man.
Like it ain't nothing.
There you go. There you go.
But you have to consider that that's still permanent damage. Even if you even if you recover, it's still, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So,
you absolutely right. I was waking up 3 o'clock in the morning, going to be on the machine 3 days a week, 4 hours on the machine. Man, that shit had me so depressed, bro.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Ooh, had me so depressed. I was on it for 5 years. But I had mad people that had want to donate to me.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was a match. The last person that had want to donate to me, it was a match. And I was like, damn.
Yo.
Thank you, Lord.
Bless that. You know what I mean? Because my brother-in-law was on dialysis before he got a transplant. That shit is rough, man. That shit is rough. My cousin is on it now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Especially for a guy when you on it. I ain't gonna get it to the fact that it bothers men. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I fully understand. I fully understood.
Especially if you married, man, you be like, damn, I can't even satisfy my lady.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It's a real thing. It's a real thing.
I never knew how much a kidney was worth to you.
Man, listen. That shit is serious, serious business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, and it's funny because you mentioning your wife. You know, that's when you really see who's down with you and who's not. You know what I mean? You hear songs out here, people can say what they want to say about loyalty and dedication and all of that. But when it's really real, you'll feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And when it really wasn't there, you'll feel that too.
And you know who your real friends are when you get sick.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so many people talk, yo, hi, what can I do to see if I'm a match? They talk shit. Don't even offer to do something if you're not real. Because that's some
that ain't nothing to play around with. Nothing at all.
Many days, son. I cried many days, bro. When I say I cried, I mean I was at work. I was so weak, bro. I couldn't even handcuff an inmate from the back. I'm telling you, they had to put me in a tower.
Wow.
Then eventually, I retired. I took an early retirement because I couldn't work with those inmates no more. You crazy?
Yeah, they take advantage. You know what I mean? The hunter will become the hunted. You know, you know the prison shit ain't no joke. You know what I mean? Them motherfuckers is wolves. Yeah.
That shit ain't no joke, man. You know, just like I'm saying. I didn't even work. Then they put me in inmate intake. That's to take pictures and photos. I didn't like that because sometimes you get in fights down there. So I wound up in the tower. That was my last position in the tower. But when something go off and shit, you got to go running. I can't do that shit no more, man.
Yeah, man. That's yeah. But you know, just to be able to still be here to tell that story because a whole lot of people are not able to do that.
Oh yeah. So I got a kidney now. It's been I had my kidney for 11 years now. 11 years, but I'm not going back to work.
Okay.
Nah, I'm not. I got all my benefits. I got my pension. I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I need that money. I ain't gonna lie. I'm all right finance, but I'd rather be better.
Right.
But I'm not gonna jeopardize my life for the mighty dollar.
Well, you can always, you know, do your little hustling on the side. You know what I mean? Create your own wealth, which is always a great thing to do. And that can actually add a lot of quality to your life. That's a way of getting your life back for real.
That's what one of my boys said to me or to my lady. He said, man, he respects my woman so much because she accepted me for who I was. And that meant so much to me, man. That meant so much to me because you ain't gonna find. I'm not sick now. I don't consider myself sick. But back then, yes, you're not gonna find too many women that want to be with a sick man.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's true. That's true. That's something we kind of have to eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Certainly don't like that. And you know what? The really messed up part about that is that even the person that turns their back on you probably don't really want to turn their back on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, you might be at a younger age and they have needs too, or you know what I'm saying? Nobody really, you know, we save for sickness and health, but we don't really sign up for that. No. Unless we really signed up for that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so I mean that's a tough spot on both sides. We don't always look at both sides, but it can be tough on both sides. But you know, since if we talking about permanent damage, you know, one thing we never really, women might talk about it, but maybe not to the extent that it should be talked about. A woman getting pregnant or having a baby causes permanent damage to them. They say it actually takes years off of their lives.
Yeah, because they be getting stretch marks and shit and all types of things we go through, you know?
Well, something is growing in their body, inside. Talk about internal damage. You know what I mean? He in there kicking, you know what I mean? Kicking, moving around. You actually building another person inside of you. You know, it's no wonder why, you know, that some women can't keep the weight off anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You mess up their whole figure.
It can for some, plenty. For plenty, it has. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make it doesn't make an ugly woman out of most of them, but the damage is permanent. I mean, you have to think about how many women have died in childbirth. It's a violent thing. You know what I mean?
Like, I tell you, and I know I'm on the line, but I don't give a damn. This is my opinion. I think women are stronger than men.
They could be in some ways.
And in a lot of ways, well, I look at my situations, man. Like when we get colds, we cry about every damn thing. You know, women, they get a cold, they go cook, they'll clean, they can do everything, man. When we get sick, we act like babies, man.
Well, I've known some punk ass women, and I've known they ain't all the same.
The reason why I say that because I look at I include my mother with that as well. My mother was a strong ass woman, man. Like I told you, my mother raised me a single parent, not by choice. Because my father died when I was sick from colon cancer, man. She did a hell of a job. I've never been locked up, never been on drugs.
Yeah.
You know, and I look at that for a black man.
Yeah.
Coming up in the project, I made it out of there, man.
Yeah.
Some people don't. Some people don't.
Man, I was just talking about being in the projects today. I didn't grow up in the projects, but you know, I've been in so many projects. I you know, have friends, family members, and all of that kind of shit. So I know a lot about it. And it ain't easy growing up in no projects. You know what I mean? I think it's funny, you know, when you listen to like Mobb Deep and Nas and, you know what I mean, MC Shan and all, and then, you know, they be talking about the project like they so proud of it and all that. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. But when you think about it, making it up out of the projects is almost like making it up out of jail for some people.
Mm-hmm.
Because
you gotta fight every day. If you don't, you're gonna get your ass kicked.
Man, it's you gotta think it's a concentration of poor, uneducated people. What happens when you poor and uneducated?
You don't learn nothing yourself.
And not only that, but crime is going to happen, and often violent crime. So, and the mentality that goes along with that poverty and that lack of education, it's man, that shit ain't it's not an easy situation. So to get up out of that shit permanently, man. But think about this. Think about how many people who grew up in poverty, whether it was in the projects or just a bad neighborhood or whatever, just bad circumstances. Think about the permanent damage that they have suffered, and they don't even know.
Oh yeah, you got mommy bringing different men in the house. Sometimes you open up the refrigerator. I didn't see it. I didn't go through that. I didn't see it. Some of my friends had to put water in cereal and shit. I'm like, wow, I'm like,
Yeah.
And I remember as a little kid, I never forget this. My mother sent me to the store one time and she gave me some food stamps. So I waited till everybody leave the store to spend that shit. Not knowing everybody in there had those shit.
Yeah.
That's how innocent I was, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm just like I said, I'm glad that I was raised the way my mother raised me, because when you from Philly or North New Jersey, you can live anywhere because you know the street.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But
and just because you're from the project, if you move out the project, you don't have to act like the project.
Not at all. As a matter of fact, you should never act like that's where you come from. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You should be the rose that grew out of that cement. And I'm not knocking nobody that I got to be careful, because I'm not knocking nobody that ever grew up in the projects or whatever. But it has to be understood that it's a safety issue. And no matter how you slice it, it's not safe living in the projects. You know what I mean?
No, it's not.
You might make it through, or you might even become popular and nobody mess with you or whatever, but that's still not safe. You know what I mean? You know, in a safe environment, you don't have to worry about yourself. You don't have to worry about your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your cousins, aunts, uncles. You don't have to worry about nobody. And it's hard to achieve that in the projects.
You're absolutely right, son. Like you said, you probably was raised in the house. Your garbage went to the corner. Shit, we came out our door. It was a incinerator in the building. You just store it in the incinerator. You know, I didn't know nothing about no damn bulk day and garbage day. Shit, it was everything for me.
That's crazy. You know what? I never really thought of that. I swear, I never really thought of that. Because my damn trash day is on Tuesday. I got to be scrambling on Monday night after this show to make sure my shit go out because I'm going to be asleep. I've slept through it plenty of times, forgot to put it out. You had to get up. I hear the truck out there like, oh, shit, I got to put this trash out. You know what I mean? Damn, I forgot about that. Yeah. But you know what? That part, growing up in the projects, handicaps a lot of people because they don't know about things like trash day or paying electric utility bills. You know what I mean? So yeah, so it's really hard for a lot of them when they move to a regular place and they got to pay all of these things individually. It's like, what the fuck? Like this taking up all the money.
Yeah, a lot of people that come from housing authority and they scared to go and venture on their own because they think, damn, I'm not gonna make it because they so used to, you know, that set rent with everything. You know, but my mother told me that. My mother said once she moved out the project, she said, I was scared as hell. Shit, my mother got out of there. I don't know if you heard of Irvington, New Jersey. We moved to Irvington.
Hell yeah. Right outside of Newark, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Irvington was nice. When we moved up there, then my mother went and bought 3 houses. And this comes from a single woman, man. So that's why it was hard for me to just be with anybody. Because I'm like, damn, if my mother could do it by herself, why can't other women? Why they always begging for shit from men? You know?
Yeah.
That was hard. It was hard for me to really find somebody because I was, tell you the truth, I was looking for somebody just like my mother. It sounds kind of crazy, but she was very independent, man. I don't know how it is eating TV dinners and shit. I don't know nothing about no TV dinners. My mother cook, clean house, and, you know, some of these women today, I'm not going to bash them, but they don't even know how to boil an egg. But they want you to get them nail money and shit and pay their car notes and shit. You know? I'm telling you, that sex run out after a while, bro.
Yeah. You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. Because dealing with a woman that ain't shit will stop your dick from getting hard. After a while, it'd be like, that shit is gonna be the first to go. Like, yo, come on, sure, you gotta get your shit together. We cannot fuck our way out of this bad.
You're trying to find a part-time job because you don't want to even come home from your full-time job.
Yeah.
You know, that's a damn thing. When you work your 8 hours and you go, I knew somebody that used to work their 8 hours and then they used to go sit in the park for 4 hours waiting for their man to go to work and then they come home. I'm like, wow, that's bad.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's bad. They had more people at work than at home, and that's bad. You know? That's bad. But, you know,
nah,
crazy, man.
Yeah, but you know, your mind state, your mental state is one of the hardest things to protect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But because if you lose that permanent damage is going to tear down everything else. Everything. You're not going to really be able to get by without that. And you know, people don't always think about that as far as permanent damage is concerned until they really have to stare it in the face. Like when you know what it's like to lose somebody who didn't die. You can either lose them to the streets, you can lose them to drugs, or you can lose them to mental illness.
Yep.
It ain't nothing more heartbreaking than a dude that used to hang out with, chase girls with, you know, get drunk with, high with, you know, cool out with, you know what I mean? Go places with, and he ain't there. He's gone now. You know what I mean?
Yo, I know females today that don't take shit off no men because they seen their mother take shit off a man. You know, and it put a stain on them, man, and messed them up. Nigga, I ain't gonna have no man beat my ass. I think my mother get her ass beat so many times. No, that ain't gonna beat me. So they hard on men. But every man is not like that.
Yeah. But they so busy trying to protect themselves so much that they pretty much taking it too far. But how far can you take, just trying to protect yourself? I mean, they not wrong. They not wrong. It's just that, the way their technique, they're scarred to the point where it's hard for them to trust.
Yeah.
Some chicks turn they turn dyke because of that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But check this out. They don't understand. A woman could do the same shit a man could do to them.
Worse. You see the way they treat each other? You see the way them studs be treated? I be like, wait a minute. Wait. This motherfucker more aggressive than a dude. Dudes don't dress like that all the time and act like that all the time. Like you like toxic masculinity. You just like it from a female. You gonna put up with that shit from a female? I mean, shit. You should. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. But
it's crazy, man. That's just an excuse.
It is.
Person, you had want to do that many times, so don't even try. You
ain't never gonna lie, man, because either you like dick or you don't. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't trying to hear that shit. but since these are the excuses that people use, we have to incorporate them because I you know what, I'm gonna get off of that because I start telling the truth and people won't like it. But
now let me tell you this, son. Just like I said before, I got on dialysis. I used to be mean as hell, man. I ain't really talk to people and shit, and you say something to me, you gonna have to deal with me. But once I got sick, I took other people's feelings in consideration, man, because I was like, wow, it just like woke me up not to be so damn mean.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, but it was rough. When I say it was rough, and just like I said, it's still rough because, like, when I look at my arm, I'm about to get surgery on it, but I don't know if you know somebody that did dialysis. They stick needles in your arm and shit.
Yo, man, that big ass vein that y'all be having, I be like, what the fuck is that shit? That shit look, you know what I mean? That shit look crazy as hell.
I'm about to get surgery on my shit. I'm about to get that shit. It's gonna look like my other arm because the kidney working good and everything, and I don't want to do no more. But
I understand that. I totally understand that. Yeah.
But I never knew it would happen to me. That's why people, man, you can't take life for granted. I'm telling you, don't take life for granted because it's just crazy. It's crazy. But good thing that I did right by my finance, and I don't got to worry about shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely blessed in more ways than one. But I want to ask you something. Since when you became sick, you started to, be more understanding and a little bit nicer. So do you think that permanent damage was actually like more of a positive thing?
Yeah, with me, because I always kept a shield up because where I was from, people take you for granted and people try to check you and shit. And I just always held up the shield, Like now, when me and my lady, I'm in California now.
Okay.
I got two places, California and New Jersey. But when I go to a restaurant or something, I always sit. I don't like my back facing the door. I like to look to see that's coming in.
Me too. Yeah.
I guess that institutionalized shit. And plus, my lady said she think I got
PTSD. Yeah. You institutionalized just like an inmate. You know what I mean? You never get past that shit.
Yeah. But it made me a better man for me getting sick, man. Because I'm telling you, just like I tell you before, you couldn't tell me shit. I was driving the BMW X6 and shit. I just was doing me. You know,
Yeah.
If you wasn't driving what I was driving, I ain't man, who the fuck are you? But man, it's not like that no more, man.
Yeah.
My lady tell you, man, I give back. I see homeless people. It's just, it's just not me no more, man. Because I think God just gave me another chance. Like, yo, get your shit together.
Yeah.
Because he still got me here for a reason. Because shit, he could have took me out of here, man.
Yeah, listen, man, that's true. And when you get a second chance in life, you don't normally take that shit for granted.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? Because you sometimes you don't realize how precious life is. Sometimes, we get selfish and we get down on ourselves. We start to think that we more entitled for shit than we really are. But you become deathly ill, and you'll see what is really hitting for. You be begging for those times.
Sorry, go ahead, brother.
I was just gonna say you be begging for a regular illness like a headache or something. Like, please, I wish I could just have a headache. You know what I'm saying? Sniffles or some
like
shit.
When people like one day, me and my lady, we went to IHOP, and I told her, I said I want to pay for somebody's food. So she's like, all right, cool. She said, if you pay for somebody, I'll pay for somebody, and we did that. And like when I look out for homeless people and shit, a lot of my boys, man, why you give him money? He gonna do drugs. That ain't my fucking problem. As long as I know I did a good deed that day.
Yo,
I don't care what he do. He could go buy fucking $10 worth of meth. As long as I know that I did something that God put in my mind to help somebody out.
One thing we have to learn is either we can't give and control.
Nope.
You know what I mean? Like if we give in order to keep something, then we can control it. But yeah, I look at it the same way. I don't care if you go buy drugs.
Nope.
I mean, I gave you this money. I can't tell you. It's just like dudes who pay child support, but they want to complain. Oh, she ain't spending all the. She's spending some of my money on her other kids. Why they father don't do it? Yeah, I get all of that, but you got to understand, homie. When you pay child support, that you don't get to control where the money goes. If it was all like that, hey, yeah, I mean, that's one thing. But the other thing is, if you could control where the money is going, then you wouldn't be getting your checks garnished.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like that, it ain't. Do you get to say where your tax money goes? Your tax money go wherever the fuck when you put your money in the bank, you got a savings account. Do you tell the bank, yeah, I don't want y'all investing my money, just let it sit there? You don't get to say that shit.
No, they do what they want to do.
That's right. So pass that shit off. You know what I mean? If you don't want to give, keep it in your pocket. But if you give it, just know it's gonna go wherever the person you gave it to wanted to go.
You hear a lot of people saying that, man, no, I don't want to pay child support because she gonna spend it on her nigga. Hey, it don't sound right. I don't like that. But if you feel like way, go to court and get custody of the children.
Oh shit. Yeah. If I had a fucking nickel for that shit, and I've heard plenty of black people say that that's the reason that they don't think we should get reparations. We gonna all fuck up the money and go get Cadillacs. I'm like, okay, so they went out and got Cadillacs. So Jihad, imagine me owing you, I don't know, let's say I owed you a couple of racks. I owed you 2,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I say, like, listen, G, man, I ain't gonna pay you that money back because you ain't gonna do nothing but fuck the money up. You know what I mean?
And I gave you the money?
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
No.
The ridiculousness of it is like out of this world. Like what?
Well, I'll
So
cut your ass off and not ever talk to you again. That's all. Because I'm not gonna go to jail over no fucking $2,000. I just cut your ass off, block your number, and I don't know you no more.
bottom line is, I can't tell you I'm not going to pay you back because I don't like what you're going to do with the money that you lent me.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can't do it. So the same people who say, well, you know, black people, they ain't gonna do nothing but they gonna buy pounds of weed and they gonna get Cadillacs and they gonna go tricking in the titty bar. I'm like, they ancestors died so they could be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us gonna invest our money, pool our money, and make shit right. You know what I'm saying? So you can't use. You know what I mean? You can't tell.
I've got something for you. My wife, right? And she's Filipino. So make a long story short, when I first met her, she's from California.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm from New Jersey. And she was telling me how much the Indians get a month. Yo, they get, say like for instance, if your daughter had a baby by an Indian,
mm-hmm.
you know how much they get big money a month, but they gotta be in the tribe.
Right.
And they have in the reservations down here. Oh my God. They get, how much money do they get a month around? Huh? They get a lot. A lot.
Yeah, them checks be right.
How much? Yeah, they get a lot.
Yeah.
And I found that out, and I said, they can't even look out for us. The Jews get money. I mean, know what? Because we didn't get burned in the chamber. We can't get no money. We went through more shit than they went through.
We went through more than anybody else could ever imagine. It's the worst tragedy in the history of the earth. Like, what are you talking about? So that's why I'm like, I just think that some of us are so demoralized and they figure we never gonna get it anyway. So I'm gonna just act like I never wanted it. You know what I mean? It's like you know, you see a girl, a fly girl, and then, you know, you think she out of your league, so you like, man, I don't really like her anyway. Her eyelash is fake. Like, you know damn well you want her, but you don't think you can get her anyway. So just act like you never wanted her in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
They hate so much. They hate so much, man, that they love it. It's sad. It's sad. It is sad.
Man, it is. It's bad.
Like somebody made a comment the other day. It was like how they trying to get all the immigrants out, and they said we gonna be next. I'm like, what? We gonna be next? And they said, well, if Trump had his way, it would be like that.
I'm like, you know what? I mean, right now I'm past the point. I'm past the point of thinking that we going. I mean, what else you gonna do to us? We've been stewed, baked, and fried. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't worried about this. I ain't worried about that shit. It ain't as easy as you think.
Well, shit, they could put shit in our food. They already say we love watermelon and chicken shit.
Well, shit, they poison in their own food too. You know what I mean? They poison in their own food too. Yeah, I mean, shit. If you fuck up the you fuck up the food supply. We ain't the only one eating certain shit.
There you go. You're right. But when it comes to certain shit, now if they could put shit in that liquor at the liquor store, you know how we is with that. We listen. Before they open up in the fucking morning.
Man, shit. Put it in the keg. Put it in the keg in the kegs and shit. You know what I mean? And tap that keg and kill everybody.
Kill everybody. But it's just sad how this world is, man. It's just sad.
It is.
You know, it's like we was talking the other day when you was on, and I said they use prison for the wrong people, like people that have mental problems. They should not be in prison.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they should be in hospitals. You got to see the people that come through there, and they charges is crazy for hanging out on the street all night and shit, and they get locked up. I didn't seen it, man. Punk ass child support, they in the rears for like $1,000. I'm like, really? You gonna wait to sell for shit like this?
Yeah.
It's just sad. It's sad, man. It's sad. And you don't see nothing but us come up in there. I'm like, damn, where the Caucasians at? You know, they must have got separate prisons for them. Because I tell you, they ain't in Trenton. You got very few. But it's crazy.
It is. It is. But when you really think about it, I mean, there's a lot of permanent damage all over the world. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you really know how to identify it, you know, whether you're talking about the mental, whether you're talking about the physical, you know, there's a lot of permanent damage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you was talking about, you know, working in the prison all them years or whatever, I know a lot of people who worked in prisons.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I noticed about CEOs or whatever, you know, well, first of all, I noticed that they talk about their job a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Because I understand why, because it's like talking about a train wreck every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like the shit that inmates do, they give you talking points day in and day out, but it's all negativity, and that's the crazy part. It's negative on negative on negative. That shit is crazy. It's like being a cop that never have to go outside.
You know, and my son is a cop in up, but it's crazy. They be throwing, you get feces thrown on you, piss thrown on you, all types of shit. And check this out, it's so bad now. I ain't even supposed to be saying this shit, but they even have gangs in prison. I'm not even talking about the inmates. We're talking about the fucking workers.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad. You can't trust nobody. Check this out. Say, like, for instance, somebody asks you, yo, son, can you think you could bring me back to Newport tomorrow? No, you know, I can't do that. These motherfuckers be talking to the other officers. They'll find out where you live at. Next thing you know, something happens to your house.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's real shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they take things mad personally. And in a way you can understand it, because it's like they doing mad years. Like what they got to lose?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So their permanent damage makes them so super destructive, with absolutely no respect for life, for real.
No respect for life, none.
And Philly,
none. And they know more shit in there than you know out here.
Mm-hmm. We in Philly, we got a lot of problems with like that drill rap shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a real thing in this city. We don't have straight up gangs. We don't have Bloods and Crips, and we don't have that. We don't have that. For some, and you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. And this is gonna sound crazy, but it would actually. The reason that we don't have Bloods and Crips in Philly is because we so divided and wild that nobody would ever follow. See, when you have Bloods and Crips or Gangster Disciples or Black Spades or what's the one I always forget? Vice Lords or whatever. Mm-hmm. You gotta follow protocol. You gotta, there's a hierarchy. Mm-hmm. Niggas in Philly would never follow that. They would never do that.
Because y'all so close to Trenton and Camden, and you know how that shit is there.
For some reason, it can't. We immune to it. So there's so much infighting that they would never be able to get no gang shit over. So I was thinking, and this is gonna sound crazy. Every time I think about it and say it, I feel bad. But it would almost be better if we did have organized gangs, because then you would have some kind of code that you would have to abide by. Mm-hmm. See, these motherfuckers are just wild. Kill anybody. You know what I mean?
When we was coming up, our gang, I don't know if you ever heard of them. They was called the Avenues, the Lollipops, the Smurfs. They wasn't supposed to touch kids and women. Mm-hmm. That was a no-no. Was a no-no. But now, they don't give a damn what they be shooting at.
No, these young boys don't. I'm telling you, they are super, super wild. You know what I mean? They just, when they be so young, man. I'm talking about 15. How you 15 and you already got 4 bodies?
I know. It's terrible.
Like what?
It's terrible. That's my boy said to me one time. He said, "Yo, Jihad," he said, "Yo, if a kid ever come up to you and start some shit with you or step on your foot, let that shit go. Because you know how I am." I said, "I already know." He said, "Even the girls. The girls carry like the guys.
Mm-hmm.
So don't even get smart with them because they ready to pop your ass. They ready. That's why they start in trouble with you.
It's real out here. It's really, really real.
They call it Swiss cheese, son. They said I make you look like Swiss cheese."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. It's really, really bad. You know what I mean? You like the if you watch our local news, I mean, you from Trenton, so y'all got the same news as we did. So
yeah. Oh man, Philly off the hook, man. I be seeing that shit.
It's getting worse and worse. The last straw was when they killed my boy, the rapper LGB Quad. I was like, all right, that did it. That fucking did it. That fucking did it for me.
They killed that other boy, but he got killed in California. P&B Rock.
Yeah, P&B Rock. Yeah.
He from Philly, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He from around my old way. So, yeah. Like out of town, I expect a certain thing because, you got to learn how cats move out of town. You know what I mean? You can't just go in and act like, try to live by the rules of where you came from, like it's sweet like that everywhere else. It ain't. Like P&B Rock would have never got, you know what? Damn, I'm about to tell a lie because LGP Quad got killed. Well, they say over a chain. I don't really believe that it was simply over a chain.
Oh, hell no, there's more to it. And they said P&B Rock was fake. His goal was fake.
Now, he would have never got robbed for his chain here. Like, we've been done with that a long time ago. Now, it ain't that we won't rob you. You know what I mean? But that ain't never been a big Philly thing, all of that stick up shit. You know what I'm saying? People who do it, they are really, really like a counterculture. That ain't something that we do to survive out here. You know what I'm saying? It ain't sweet like that. And but yeah, this the street shit.
Well, I know that dude out there, his name is Gilly or something like that.
Yeah, Gilly.
He got a lot of respect out here, man.
Yeah, he do.
Him and another dude, they always be together. I forgot his damn name, but he be with somebody else too.
The boy, his cousin, Wallow?
Yeah, Wallow and Benny Caesar.
Yeah. But like Gilly really don't deserve. He really don't deserve the respect that he get. But I'll say this: he's very, very resilient.
Yeah,
he's very, very resilient. Because I'm like, when you know, and I'm like, okay.
that Gilly guy, man. He be with Deion Sanders. He be all around. I'm like, damn. I said, was he a rapper or something?
I mean, he was a rapper, but he never he never really blew up like that. And the crazy thing about it is, before he started getting really on the sports scene, advocating for the Eagles, I've been an Eagles season ticket holder since 1998.
Oh wow!
I don't remember no Gilly being, like until last year. I ain't associate him with no Eagles. Now all of a sudden, he the #1 fan. He all in the locker room and all that. He's stamped and certified. I'm like, what the fuck? What?
You know your boy about to do a movie in Jersey, right?
Who?
Take a guess who about to do a movie in New Jersey, and he looking for extras.
It ain't Lil Uzi Vert, is it?
Kevin Hart.
Oh, really? Is he?
Yeah, he did one movie in Jersey. He did this shit called, it was corny, Paper Soldiers.
Yeah.
He did that in Jersey.
Yeah, I remember that movie. That was his first joint.
Yeah, that's his first joint. He's about to do another one in Jersey because he said he's looking for all extras in New Jersey. I'm like, damn, in New Jersey, why he ain't get no Philly niggas? I was like, shocked. You look it up, you'll see.
Well, if he getting extras in Jersey, that's gonna be extras in Philly.
Yeah,
Because they coming across that bridge for a couple of dollars. They gonna come across that bridge.
Yeah, I know he getting paper, but no disrespect. I don't like him as a comedian, man, at all.
No?
No, you know who I like as a comedian? Ari Spears. You heard of Ari Spears?
Oh yeah, he's funny. Right,
That motherfucker's funny. Kevin Hart not funny to me, man.
Well, today's Kevin Hart
in movies, but not stand up.
Today's Kevin Hart and stand up is nothing like the Kevin Hart of, let's say, 20 years ago. He was a beast.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Right?
Huh?
He used to sell sneakers, right?
I don't know him for selling sneakers, but when he was on his come up on the comedy side, couldn't nobody fuck with him. He was
really?
Yeah, he was hellified. But you know, when you get to this level, you don't write your own jokes no more and all that kind of shit.
Oh no, you right.
Yeah, you know, so it's his writers right now that's probably not funny. He's actually a very funny dude. So, but it's all good. But that's my man.
Yeah. Well, listen, man. I'm glad to hear your voice, man.
Without a doubt, man. And I appreciate you coming through and sharing your story. That was a goodie.
Man, I ain't going nowhere. I'm with you. I'm family, man. I ain't going nowhere.
Without a doubt. I you know what I mean? That's important to me.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that's important to me. You know what I mean? That's what I want to hear.
Things from this chat. You know, you don't be fucking playing with microphones, making shit come out your mouth. All that bullshit that be on those other chats, man. You know, they be playing, scratching the microphone and shit. With cream shaving cream over their head and shit. Nobody want to see that bullshit.
It's a lot of shit. It's a lot of shit going on out here because I know exactly what you talking about. And I'll be like, you know what I mean? I'll be trying not to hate. I'll be like, here I am. I'm trying to build this shit for real. And I'm getting beat out. I'm getting beat out by all this old fucking clown shit. But all right, fuck it. You know what I mean? Every dog has his day. I just gotta wait for my day. But yeah, I know what you mean. For real.
Listen, man, you have a blessed night, man, and this ain't gonna be the last time I talk to you, man.
No doubt, man. You be safe.
You too, man.
All right, one love.
Well.
It's my man Jihad coming through. Appreciate him much. Mucho. That's what's up, man. Listen, I want to thank everybody for coming through prematurely. We're not going nowhere yet, but I want to thank everybody in advance for coming through. Appreciate y'all. Please make sure y'all hit that like button. Hit the like button. And if you haven't participated in the poll question yet, please, answer the poll question. See what's going on. Omega TV, what's good? Okay, hold on. James Pritchett, Manifest Reality, was good. Cheryl Halsey, how you feeling? And Cheryl Hudson, what up? Just want to make sure everybody get their love. Sorry, Jeff and Bill. You know what I mean? Listen, just because we infuse some black stuff in here, y'all ain't gotta run away. You know what I mean? It's not your fault individually. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, all right, so let's take a look at the poll. So far, we got 19 votes. Which would be the worst ability to lose for you? Or I should have said for you to lose, but it's all good. Seeing, hearing, losing your voice, smell, or taste, 32%. 21% says arms, legs, walking, driving, etc. 42%, which is the highest amount, said mental illness. Interesting. And 5% says your looks or your reputation. Interesting. I'm not surprised that looks wasn't the biggest thing, but in a way, I'm a little surprised. In a way, I'm a little surprised because, you know, like something happening to like scar your face or to alter the way that you look. A lot of people struggle with being able to live with that. You know, beauty and vanity or whatever you want to call it, it's important to a lot of people. It's important to a lot of people. And people get over it or get through it and get by it in a lot of different ways. Like if you keep on living, like I was saying earlier in the show, if you keep on living, you're not going to look the same way that you looked when you were younger. You're not going to look the same way that you looked when you were in your prime, your heyday, when everybody was trying to holler at you and you could holler at anything that you wanted. So time and age is going to put a little dent in that. But, you know, if something should happen, like you in a fire or something and you burn your face or somebody, you know, you got in a fight with somebody or whatever, and they cut you and put a permanent scar on your shit, or there are a variety of accidents that can alter the way that you look. And another way that can alter the way that you look is being on drugs. How many of y'all know somebody that was really, really pretty or really, really handsome and healthy and good looking or whatever, and they started using drugs, whatever their drug of choice was, they started using it, abusing it, and being addicted to it, and they just never were the same after that. Never acted the same, even when they got sober or clean or whatever. You ever know somebody that was on drugs so bad that when they got clean, you could never tell that they were really, really clean? Because it could have affected their mental state so bad that, you know, it just looked like they were just permanently high. And they may really legitimately never not get high anymore. But think about all the crackheads that you knew back in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. You know, we talking about permanent damage. Imagine not being able to have the ability to do the things that you used to be able to do. Maybe you were great at fixing cars. Maybe you were great at roofing. Maybe you were great at carpentry. Maybe you were good at dancing. Maybe you were a great singer. Maybe you were a hellified performer, whatever, a writer, whatever. Well, drugs will take that all away and damage you for life. So even if you get clean, you'll never be able to wash that permanent dirt away. Permanent damage. So not only are your looks never the same, look at Bobby Brown. Look at Bobby Brown. Regardless of what you ever thought about Bobby Brown, his looks or whatever, he wasn't an ugly person. He wasn't unattractive. He was very, very healthy. You see what Bobby Brown looks like now in comparison to the other members of New Edition. All the members of New Edition are pushing 60. All the members of New Edition are pushing 60. They're all 57, 58, that type shit. All of them. Bobby Brown was the youngest. He's 55 now. He'll be 56. No, he's 56. He's 56 now. He can't sing the way he used to be able to. Permanent damage. He absolutely can't dance a lick the way he used to be able to. Permanent damage. He can't talk the way that he used to. You know what I mean? He sort of got that stroke mouth thing going on. Permanent damage. I can't even speak about the mental and emotional scars that he may be suffering because of the people that he's lost the memories of things that he's had. You know, when Whitney died, everybody got on Bobby Brown about Whitney. But Whitney made her own decisions. But that doesn't necessarily mean that he doesn't feel some kind of accountability about it. Because regardless of who started getting high first, y'all both were getting high together and y'all didn't help each other to get clean. That I know of. So I'll make a little pause on that. We'll put an asterisk by that statement. But yeah, permanent damage. He has fucked himself up bad. He has fucked himself up really, really bad. Okay. See. Shirley says, but a lot of them surprisingly survive stuff. Others like COVID, flu, etc. That's facts. But yeah, permanent damage. Irreparable damage. It may not stop your life, but it may stop you from doing something that you used to be able to do, or stop you from doing something that you enjoy doing. Permanent damage. I hope that nobody listening to this show ever has like a terminal illness. Because Lord knows we've had to deal, enough of us have had to deal with that in our lives. My man, Troy Diesel is in the house.
What's going on there?
Your TV being too loud. That's your air conditioner?
Yeah, I got the TV now. You still hear it?
Huh?
I got the phone in my ear. You can still hear some blowing?
No, we good.
All right. What's going on with the brother?
Feeling like a real man should. You know how it go.
Yo, what's going on, Jihad? I heard some of this conversation. Y'all was getting it so good. I just said, let me fall back for a few.
Oh, yeah? That's not how that works. You jump in and interrupt.
You said it's not how it works.
It's not.
What's going on now?
You already know.
Yeah, I heard you was talking about, permanent damage. I was talking to you on Father's Day, and I got kind of emotional over the situation about my father, and I told you about my father and my his mother, my grandmother, and how they hold kids accountable for things that their parent, their father didn't do for them. So when they starting to make amends when their father started doing things for their grandchildren and making amends for what they didn't do for their kids, they start doing for their grandkids. They start getting upset and jealous.
Yeah.
And and to be selfish like that, not realizing that, that kid didn't ask for you to bring him in his world, but you helped bring him in his world. And then you just neglect him and don't give a fuck about him because your father is taking a liking to him and doing things for him that you didn't do for you. You can't get upset at that. You scarred me for life for what you went through with your father.
Yeah.
And that's not right. That's not right. My grandmother didn't want to have nothing to do with me because my grandfather's wife was doing everything for me. I'm realizing it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
So, at the end of the day, there's so much. I always sit back and say, well, how would it have been? Or what type of person would I have been had I had that in my life? And my father, God rest his soul. I hope he made amends with God before he passed away. But the substance abuse, not just with himself, but around me. Things that I shouldn't have seen. That he thought I didn't know nothing about.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, with that right there alone, that, you know, and a lot of people don't know, like, death, it gives you post-traumatic stress disorder.
You said
That
death?
damage alone, yes, death.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, that's some deep damage. You know, if you're not grounded, that's why I don't understand how people as atheists can deal with death. Because if you're not mentally grounded in faith, I don't know how you can deal with death.
Actually, it's easier.
You know?
It's easier for them because they don't believe that anything happens after death. You're just gone and a memory, and there's nothing.
Yeah, right. That's true. I mean, see, that's exactly why I call it to you, Mr. Son of the 752.
Yeah, well, I've known a lot of atheists, and they're all different, but yeah, they have an interesting take on the afterlife. First of all, there is none. They don't believe, most of the ones that I've known, they don't believe that there's an afterlife. They don't believe in reincarnation either. They don't believe in none of that shit. They believe that your time is your time here, and then when it's gone, you're gone, and everything else is gone. Everything about you goes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I guess in a way that keeps them from fearing death, but they have definitely accepted that that's just the way life goes. So it's the believers that have to struggle with their spirituality, their post-life fates, their salvation, their divinity. When you care about what happens after you die, that's stressful as shit while you living. Man, every night I drive home, I be thinking like, what if this was my last joint? What if? Because it could be, and for plenty of people, it is. You know, there are probably hundreds of people.
You know what? I always feel that way too. I mean, sometimes, you know, when you look at the news and you hear people that got shot, or somebody that got stabbed up, or somebody that got killed, you always wonder what was their whole day going about before that situation happened.
Man,
you know,
I can tell you a story. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Let me go on ahead. Sure.
When my man died, back in 2003, we worked together. He worked at my job, and the last time I saw him was New Year's Eve, and that was New Year's Eve 2002, going into 2003. I mean, yeah, 2003. And that day before we left work, I'm taking pictures of everybody, and I got good pictures of everybody except for him. I couldn't get a good picture of him. I got a picture of him from the side. I got a picture of him from the back. I couldn't get a good picture of him. And when I found his body, he had on the same shit that he had on that last time I saw him. And I was like, God damn.
Well, you found his body at work?
No, I found his body in his crib. He OD'd. He OD'd off some heroin. One thing you can't do is you can't go from alcohol to coke to heroin. You gotta usher heroin in, or you fuck. He probably, he may have just choked on his own vomit. Cause I don't, as wild as he was, I have to wonder if he shot himself too much. But the thing is, most people who OD off of heroin don't die. They don't like to tell you that, but most of them don't die. They just get really sick. But if you choke like on your own vomit, then that's going to be your cause of death. You know, but it's not going to be a drug overdose or whatever. But he had a girlfriend that used heroin, and he fucked around and started using it first, and it claimed his life. But anyway, like I said, I couldn't get a good picture of him. Could not get it. And like I said, he was wearing the same clothes of when as when I saw him the last time. And you know, I always wondered, like, did he know that he was about to go? Did he sense it in some kind of way? You know, I used to drive to work, and I used to see really fatal car crashes at least a couple of times a week. And I used to be like, yo, so they got up this morning early, maybe got dressed, washed, washed, dressed, you know, ate breakfast with their family or however, kiss their family goodbye or however it goes. Did they know that today would be their last day on Earth? I wonder if they got a premonition. Like, we don't know. But questions like this are the things that can mentally scar a person for life. You know, fearing or being concerned about what's going to happen to you, you know, when you die. I mean, it's a legitimate concern, but it's definitely one that can hold you back.
Like when I had got shot, right? And when I was running, I was able to run after I got shot because I got shot in my ankle. And that's because after the person that shot at me, he didn't cock the gun back. Had he cocked the gun back, we would have never met, bro. I would have been dead. You know? And I realized why, because when people aim a gun at you, unexpectedly you freeze up.
Yeah.
When they say freeze, yes, you actually freeze up.
Whole house freeze.
Because it's the unknown. Yeah. When the motherfucker say freeze and they got a gun at you, oh yes, they do. That's what you do. You don't even have to say it happens. You know, so as I'm sprinting, I felt something hit me in my ankle. And since I had my Timberland tied up real tight, I was able to run because the circulation wasn't moving. But when I could tell you, son, that everything that happened was in slow motion. Like when them 19 other bullets came out that gun, I know how I found I was 19. Because when I went to the precinct to get a police report, because I was trying to collect victims' compensation, the cop said to me, "Oh, you the guy that got shot at 19 times." And I was like, 19? Because in slow motion, I heard other bullets. So, but as I'm running, I see my mom, because she's getting ready to come across the street. Because it happened right across the street from the house. And I see my mom fall to the ground. As soon as she fell to the ground, a bullet hit the window. She was in front of the car. And I seen my oldest son and my oldest daughter, who was babies at the time, maybe 4 or 5, looking out the window, looking at the uncle shoot at me. I actually looked out the side of my eye and looked at them looking out the window. As I'm running down the street. So, and to this day, it still scars them that they seen that. Like we had to put them through therapy at a young age because they seen that.
Very understandable.
You know. You know. So I mean, there's a lot of things.
That's serious permanent damage, though.
Say that again.
That's serious permanent damage. It really is.
Yes. Yes. You know, when you see things that you like, I'm always a firm believer of. I'm a firm believer of the reason why I'm still here. Maybe the God has more for me to live for. Well, my mom, because my mom was a prayer warrior, she prayed a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom, her prayers, when I went out at nighttime, I used to go to the club. My mom prayers sustained me while I was out.
Ah, man.
They sustained me, I know. Because I've been around, I was standing next to a guy that got shot.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The bullet could have went and hit me. It was either me or him.
Yeah.
It hit him. You know, so I mean, you know, that either it's real bad damage, post-traumatic stress disorder, one or the other.
Yeah.
Still one of the same.
Yeah, I agree.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, probably, excuse the raspy voice, you know, I'm up here sounding like, you know, like the DOC after the car accident.
Damn, you do kind of sound a little bit like him. Ain't that some shit? I wasn't thinking around them along them lines. Now I know you acting.
You know, but
no, go ahead.
yeah, but that's the whole thing about that. And you was talking about, you know, you was talking about how Philly is not a major capital, because I heard you and Jahan talking about the situation with you brought up Stilling in Philly.
Yeah.
And yeah, Stilling in Philly is not big, but back in the day, you know, Robin, remember Cazals when it was a big thing on Cazals, people get stuck on getting killed over them motherfuckers.
I don't know how that most motherfuckers usually just snatch them off their face. And when you think about how dumb that was, when you think about, I mean, fucking frames. So we stealing frames to do what?
It makes no sense.
It did. Yeah. We went from Cazals to fucking Mega Designs, Porsche Designs. Yeah, I mean
Neo Style.
Neo Styles was the flyest though. Them shits was.
It was fine. Listen, I got a pair of Porsche Designs.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm in love. I had a pair of the gold one with the blue front with the blue lens.
Yeah.
And I lost the motherfuckers, man.
You know, you want to know what I did?
What?
So I was in Mount Airy. Well, I was in West Oak Lane. You know how the separate the border for West Oak Lane to Mount Airy is Washington Lane. So I'm hanging out on the West Oak Lane side, but we used to go to the other side to get. It was this popular pizza place. I can't remember the name of it no more, but it used to be on the other side of it was like at Stenton Ave and Johnson. Anyway, so we there. Was that Chinese food place? Whatever the fuck it was. Anyway, so we went there to get some food, and I walked into this is my drinking days. Yeah. Walked into a pole, hit my fucking face on the goddamn pole, and fucked up them goddamn Porsche Designs. They was bent. Like I could try to reshape them. They was fucked up. And I was like, oh my God. What did I pay for them Porsches? About $175? Whatever. I'm like, it wasn't meant for me to, it was never meant for me to wear shades. It just wasn't meant. You know what I mean? It never worked out right.
I also had the Mega Designs too.
Oh, you had Mega Designs?
Yeah, I had the Mega Designs too.
Mega Designs, Alpinas. Penis, Alpinas. Alpinas.
I had that. The funny thing is, I had the Takumo D's. Star Trek team.
Yeah. I don't know why I even got this shit, because I never liked hiding my eyes. I never liked doing this shit. But it was a popular thing. And I remember this motherfucker was acting like he was scheming to take my Porsches before they got bet. By the way, when I walked into the pole, my boy cracked the fuck up. I was mad at him. What the fuck you laughing at? I done fucked up my glasses. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a dickhead. He was the type of dude who laughed at everything. You know what I mean? Like, he was just a clown. But it's all good. He was a good friend. But in your times of hardship, he wasn't that bull. But yeah, man.
You know, we wore shades. You know why we wore shades that day? We wanted them so bad because it felt like it was a status thing. It made you feel like you had money.
Yeah, I just don't understand why. I just don't understand why.
I don't know. I don't need it.
Like a pair of shades? I mean, why don't we just get a gold chain?
I even had that. I had a long gold chain with a gold hologram. But I had a gold piece that had a hologram in it. Because my brother, you know, he's an artist, and when he won this art contest, and he won 14 karat gold piece with a hologram on it. So I was wearing that on a chain. I just knew I was the shit until my brother's girlfriend, who was in the beginning stages of smoking crack, stole it out my drawer and sold it. I was walking bowling and pigeon toe with that chain on, and my man died.
Oh my God! The quest for flyness. Yo, this shit fucking crazy, man. When I was in 9th grade, I had a pair of glasses, Yves Saint Laurent's, and I'm still trying to figure out where the fuck did I get these glasses. You know what I mean? Like, I can't remember. My sister might have got them for me, whatever. But I had a pair of Yves Saint Laurent, the YSL on the glass. You know what I mean? It's all about the glass. And a senior, this boy from South Philly named Rayvon, cool as shit. And he was like, he saw my.
What are you talking about?
Tall, thin, brown skin boy.
Yeah, I know him.
Okay. All right, yeah. So Rayvon had a pair of Gucci's, and he saw my YSLs. He gave me so much respect. Like, he basically welcomed me in the Franklin Learning Center. Like, yo, this is my young boy. You know what I mean? I was like, wow.
You know, that's why I just tell you the status, man. The status.
Over the, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what about my Guess jeans? You know what I mean? Nah, it's the YSLs. Okay. And I don't know if you remember. Hold on. I don't know if you remember the song that was out in '85. He said, the song was by this group called the Bad Boys, and it was da 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 da. That was my shit. So my favorite part was when Busy B was like, coming in the party with the YSLs with niggas walking around with fake Kazam.
I know one thing. When you said that shit, I know you when you said that shit, you wasn't even walking. Yo,
that was my favorite fucking line. You know what I mean? Walking in the party with the YSLs with niggas walking around with fake Kazam. Fake. I'm like, Kazam? Yeah, fake Kazam. Yeah, I don't know if you know, they actually had a video for that song. They actually had a video for that song. That was my shit.
Them Busy B thing is not a homicide. It's just suicide. So one thing about Busy B and Kumo D to me was like, they solo records was just trash. They was very good rappers, but as far as records was concerned, it was just trash.
Remember, Kumo D's first solo record was "Go See the Doctor." I was like, this song is ass. This is ass singing about ass. Go see the doctor. I'm like, nobody wanted. The beat was garbage. Like, what is this? Some kind of fucking country western shit? Huh?
Shit, you know what my shit was? Back my papa little man.
Did it.
On the bandstand.
Did it.
It's supposed to fresh crew.
Did it. Whose groove
Man, try it.
Yeah. Whose groove starts with man? Yeah, that was my shit.
And you think you're grand. And you
Part of the plan. Yeah. Put your hands together and clap those hands like this. Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
look, the boy Mantronics, his production, and this shit, man.
He was
listen,
way ahead of his time.
I mean, y'all, they talk about Pharrell, they talk about Timberland, they talk about DJ, I mean, what's his name, Mustard, and all these other boys. Man, if you go back and hear these boys, man, and hear some of the shit that they put out, you know what I mean? I mean, come on, bro.
Mantronics invented sampling.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I mean?
He brought sampling to the game. And I don't know.
Because let me tell you what else takes me out, son. Diddy was doing, Kanye did the same thing Diddy did, right? With his productions. And they look at Diddy as him just stealing music from people. But Kanye took that oldest shit, he took that whole thing. I mean, just because he said, gotcha, you still, you know where it came from. Just like Diddy took Juicy from Utume.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. It's just so much shit, man. Shit. And one thing, one of those songs never did. They never gave. There wasn't never no fucking emotional damage out of that. There was some songs that you be like, what? Yeah, it was emotional damage.
Yo, Manifest Reality in the comments, he said that's when all the Roxanne's was out. It sure the fuck was, man. How many answer songs did they have for Roxanne?
The real Roxanne Shante. I just know it might have been 3.
It was way over 10. It was so many.
Yeah.
It was so many of them that, like, I remember Lady B was like, "I'm not playing all of these rocks," because it was a mess. It was a mess. You know what I mean?
Did you ever like the song? It's just about a real, not a real Roxanne. They go, "Ready, let's go. If you know where you want to show. Listen to the go, rock it to the beat. Come on, let me go.
First of all, I like the real Roxanne.
How he did it, man.
Yeah. First of all, I like the real Roxanne. I like the real Roxanne, the record. But the flip side, the John Romeo. Hit it, Blair, Romeo. She said, because her line, she said, I was chilling with the girls when he walked in. Real fly guy with the blue sheepskin, and I had a blue sheepskin. I was like, this bitch is talking to me. She's talking to me.
The blue sheepskin with the YSLs.
With the YSLs. Well, I had the YSLs first. I didn't get the sheepskin till later on, just before Christmas. But yeah, but that was my line right there.
My mom used to hook me up, boy. I had the sheepskin hat with that came down that the things can cover your ass.
Yeah,
and I had the sheepskin gloves.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Look, man, and the thing is, I had to work my summer job to get my gold chain along with the mega designs. You know, but you know, it's two people then I think like we think that shit is crazy. This one person should be in the Hall of Fame. Herbie Love should be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, absolutely. People forgot.
Herbie should be in there.
People forgot about Herbie. Herbie Azor. Nah. Herbie. I tell you what. Herbie. I bet his bank account remember.
Yeah.
That motherfucker. Yeah. He had Kid and Play. He had Salt and Pepper. He had Dana Dane. He had because it was Next Plateau
Sweet
Records.
Tea.
Oh yeah, he had Sweet Tea.
And that shit right there, when she first came out with that, I got this feeling, and it's making me play crazy.
Cold Sweat. Yeah, that's my shit.
That was my favorite Sweet
It's like that,
song,
y'all.
Man.
That y'all.
It's like that, y'all.
Yeah. It's like that, y'all. That y'all. Hey. All right, man. You know, we got.
And the thing is, I don't even know why nobody put her in that category as one of the best women rappers. She ain't
selling enough records.
She's good.
She was good. She never I saw an interview with her. She said she never took rap seriously. And you know, so
I believe that.
Yeah. You know, she wasn't really putting out a lot of material, whatever. But imagine if she would have did what Salt and Pepper was doing, because it was on the same label. You know what I mean? It was under the same production. Could have
that on the smooth tip.
Yeah.
That one right there, boy, along with the video, because if you ain't never see Sweet Tea and you seen her in that video, you're just like, shit, she a 10.
No, she was a cutie. Lived in Queens.
Oh, man.
Me and the girls coming fresh out of Queens.
We hang up the phone. I'm gonna look at that video right now.
You do that.
I'm gonna look at that now. Shit. Terrific, somehow slow, lightweight, airy, alternate, any kind of scientific theory. A lover like me, oh my, never. You know why? Because I'm so damn clever. Oh my God, damn.
Well, if you remember, the Juice Crew used to be coming at Herbie.
Yeah.
When Craig G made that song Duck Alert, he was talking about Herbie. He said you don't want your sound sounding like Herbie. I meant because he was giving homage to
it sound like Herbie because something because Herb's a beat writer.
There you go. Like beat biter, motherfucker. Y'all was sampling a bunch of James Brown. But I was saying, you know what I was saying? I was saying today, right? Like, I don't care what I do in life.
Jason said he just heard on the smooth tip on the other day.
That's what I'm talking about. That's my man right there. That's who I used to rap with. That's my man, Jason.
Oh, for real?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
we put in work.
You know what we should do?
Jason, nice.
One day, get together and come together and do something called The Collective and just do one good show about old school rap and call it The Collective.
Well, you know, Jay is like a deep historian.
Historian?
Yeah, well, hell yeah. But what I was gonna say was, fuck. Oh well. Oh no. What I was gonna say was this: no matter what I do in life, no matter who I follow in life, I want to make sure that whatever record tape or CD I'm on, I don't want to be Master Ace or Craig G. Make sure that I'm either Cool G Rap or Kane. Because there ain't no way that on the symphony, if I would have heard Kane verse and Cool G Rap verse, I'm redoing my shit. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do Master Ace and I'm not gonna be the build up to the best to arguably two of the best verses in hip hop history. The fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be the ain't that something? Yo, Craig, I heard your jam, yeah, and it's no.
I apologize. Oh yeah, can I get your autograph of me and my grandmother?
No. So whatever I do in life, I'm gonna be the Marley as a slice. I get nice. You know, that's who I'm gonna be. You know, I'm not gonna be Master Ace. I'm not opening up this shit. I'm not gonna be the build up and shit. Like, because I don't think Craig G's verse was no better than Master Ace. That shit was a wash. It was a flat line and shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's 2:10. I mean, we already 10 minutes over. We gotta do these birthday shout outs and get out of here. I gotta go to bed. All right.
That's the truth. Look at your face.
All right. Yeah. So I would have rewrote my shit. That's all I know. I would have rewrote my shit. Like, no, This.
Hold up. We ain't putting this shit out. Hold on. Let me go back. I gotta go back to the table, man.
Yeah. Like, Yeah, listen, for whenever you put the symphony on to this day, I know Craig G gotta be like, and I let that verse stand? Fuck.
That's not even that. His kids and his grandkids like that. Hey, Papa, why you put that shit out?
Like, so yeah, I was on, one of the greatest crew tracks ever. Yeah, the symphony. Like, that's you that we're second that. How come you ain't do it like the one that came after you? Nah, man. Don't listen. You don't listen. Go listen to some little Uzi Vert. Get the fuck away from me. You know what I mean? I don't hear that shit.
So he'll never really pop, but he can rap the shit off. I'm going way back in the early days with the 76 in the Black Spades, chilling with my main man, Rick Muscle Man, Ron. Just Ice. Yeah.
To the best of my knowledge, I guess I manifest. To the best of my knowledge, I guess that I'm best, and when I manifest, I never possess. Concentrating my thoughts on higher goals. If you think about something, I know that you're bold. In addition, I mentioned releasing my tension. My rhymes will be just ice. If you listen to Cold Getting Dumb Part 2,
oh my God.
They just ripped it down. Listen, man, I gotta get the fuck out of here, man. It's after 4 o'clock.
You digging in the crates in your mind right now, bro.
Yeah, I don't even know how we got here. We was talking about permanent damage. Now I'm permanently scarred. I'm permanently scarred. We gotta go.
That shit. Yeah, I'm permanently scarred by this music. How good it was, man. That shit really fucked my mind up, man.
Shit, people be sleeping on Just. I'm like, I don't think people understood how nice Just Ice was. Like, I mean, he wasn't regular. People be talking about Rakim. I'm like, go listen to Cold Getting Dumb Part 2. Because people want to talk about that multi-syllabic shit. I'm like, go listen to Cold Getting Dumb Part 2. Don't listen to Part 1. Part 1 is dope. But go listen to Part 2. And then come back to me. Because, I mean, people always want to go to my melody. And I'm like, yo, Rob wasn't no fucking joke. But he was not alone. You know what I mean? He was not alone. Everybody was spitting crazy. Well, not everybody, but the somebody was spitting.
Yeah, the ones that were supposed to did.
Right.
And everybody talking about this track. And I'm not trying to. I know you get ready to go.
It's 4:14. It's 4:14. I can't let you. You know what I mean?
Let me just say this one thing, son. This about your boy. This about your twin. One of the best diss tracks that don't nobody ever talk about, and I don't know why they don't, is LL Cool J's To the Break of Dawn.
Oh, they talk about it.
Well, they don't put it up there as one of the greatest diss tracks.
Oh, yes, they do.
They don't.
They do.
I haven't heard nobody mention.
I have. You can't, because he never lost. But the way he murdered that, he just. Yeah, he decimated them. Because my old gym teacher ain't supposed to rap.
You know, when I first heard that shit, I was at college. And when I heard that shit, and the reason I didn't get this exposure, it was on the
It's 4:15.
it was on the house party soundtrack.
Yeah.
I know you gotta get ready to go, man.
Yeah, it's 4:15.
I know you gotta get ready to go.
Yeah, we got
So we gonna talk like you, bro.
All right, man. I get with you later. Peace.
All right, man.
All right. All right, man. We got to do these birthday shout outs. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious June 24th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special because they are special because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box. Let me get it together. My cursor is all in the wrong place. Okay, there we go. Number one out the box, Khadijah Blake. Happy birthday. And also Joy, lovely Miss Joy Finster. And Morella Rodriguez. And Tressa L. Carter Costin. And Williams Unbothered. Lionel Hanser. Dorothy Haynes. Mia Artemis Whaley. Last but not least, I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious June 24th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out. Rock on it to the damn to rock out. Rock on it to the damn rock out. Rock on it, do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, permanent damage. Somebody got hurt. Yo, we gotta go through these life. Uzi Vert. Yeah, when we get hit hard, sometimes we gotta deal with these permanent scars. Yo, you could be horsing around. Next thing you know, then you went down. Yeah, on one knee, split that thing wide open. Yo, back in the day, we was wishing and hoping that nobody got hurt. Nobody had to stop because we was too busy running from the damn cops. And we ain't even do shit. Ran anyway, just to get chased. It's crazy back in the day. Yeah, and nowadays we trying to stay safe because the stakes are much higher. My name is McIntyre, and the situation is dire as hell. And I ain't trying to be going down laughing because I fell. But even if I did, at least I can get back up. Torn knee ligaments is fucked up. So when the shit happens to you, you gotta come through and do something that's brand new. Restoring things to factory condition is a hell of a thing. You ain't going to be able to be on that mission. It ain't going to work. You got to do something else. Yo, pull your skirt. And the dirt got to be done. It's still fun. Sometimes I think about the shit when I name myself Son. With the 5'2", Son 752, God, power, and wisdom. Yeah, bestow on you. I'm just trying to come through with the good word. Yeah, I read a lot of books, watch TV, kind of nerd. But yeah, man, I'm still kind of cool. At least I think so. Laugh with my peoples and cut the fool. You hear all the rules of thought. Making sure out there I'm trying not to ever get caught. Kind of get caught up in the web. I'm trying to do a little bit with my girl that's named Deb. Yo, Debbie, what's up, Deborah? Yeah, I'm trying to do a little bit more, yeah, and try to score a couple of points. Do that thing. Smoke a couple of joints and left the weed alone, but still got the bone. And the bone is going to a dark, soft place, trying to get the shit torn down. Look on my face. Kind of having convulsions like T-Rex. I hope T-Rex is okay, because he almost broke his neck. If y'all know what I'm talking about with the URL, had a rap. All right, never mind. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death, resuscitate y'all, love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night, 2 a.m. for another Daily Go Getimism show. Make sure y'all hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel before we get on up out of here. So, the love is love and the love is real. Y'all be good. Peace. Holla. All right.